Now, this is all allegedly, okay? This is all allegedly, okay? But let's get into Quinton Simon's The Truth Revealed of what happened to this beautiful, precious little boy. Look at that smile. We're going to get into this, and I'm going to give some answers, probably about maybe 13 or 14 answers, and let's see in the coming weeks if those turn out to be facts or am I way off. Okay, let's get into it. Okay, so first thing is Quinton Simon's babysitter reveals odd text message before toddler's disappearance. So this is before the toddler even was reported missing. Things were starting to become odd already. So the woman who babysat Quinton Simon, the missing Georgia toddler, has said she received an unusual text message the morning he went missing from his home in Savannah. The babysitter said she was surprised to receive a message on that Wednesday morning last week that she would not be needed to look after Quinton and his sibling. Ooh, I got a text this morning saying they would not be here and would not be babysitting them at 5:29 a.m. So they would not be there. So, 5:29 in the morning, you are texting that you're not going to be there. They're not going to be there, said Diana McCarter, who expressed surprise at a seemingly last-minute decision. She continued, which was kind of odd because I have them even when their mother, doesn't work. Now, when people switch up their habits, you just making yourself look suspect. I'm just going to say it. Yes. Especially to text somebody at such an odd hour in the morning, 5:29 a.m. Okay. So, police say Quinton was last seen at 6 a.m. So about a half an hour after the babysitter said she was told she was no longer needed for the day. And then they get a text at 9 a.m. saying, have I seen Quinton? Now they know that this girl hasn't seen this child or the sibling because they told her that they would not be needing her services that day because they would not be home. Now, I don't know about y'all, but if that ain't suspect, I don't know what is. Okay? And I think the reason why police are not looking at these people, sideways is because of the mayonnaise. Number one, the mayonnaise. And they just can't outright just say, look, what y'all did with this child. Okay? But I think a little bit of this has to do with the mayonnaise. Okay? Because I don't know about y'all, but this sounds really suspect. Okay, when you text the babysitter, knowing full well the babysitter, how would the babysitter see the child? You told her that she was not going to be needed, so she wouldn't see neither one of these siblings, these children. But let's keep on. So Diane had this exchange with Quinton's mother. I immediately go to their home. I try to help them look, but they didn't want that. Now let me tell you something. If you, as a mother, an auntie, a niece, a sister, whatever, when you have a baby, a 12-month-old baby, that means it's just a year or 2 months old. You have a 12-month-old baby, that's 1-year-old baby. Hold up. You have a 1-year-old child that is missing. all hands are on deck. If somebody comes over and you know this babysitter has been very actively involved in this child's life, this babysitter knows exactly what the child looked like, wouldn't you want that babysitter to help you look for that child? Why wouldn't they want that babysitter involved? See, this should have been sus. This should have been sus with these cops down there in Georgia or Savannah. It should have been suspect. Why wasn't it? Sometimes I think, Popo, they let, I don't know, sometimes they might let things, go a little longer than needs to, but then again, look, they got to follow procedures to the T, and maybe they just, given the benefit of the doubt in this situation. But as far as I'm reading this, my antennas done went off when the babysitter said that she got a text from them at 5 something in the morning when this isn't normal. And then a few hours later, you get another text asking, have you seen the child? Like a 1-year-old child is just going to wander to flip off for what? However far the babysitter live. Stop the bull. Okay? And then the family doesn't want the babysitter helping to find the child quicker. This is all like, if this ain't like fire bells, warning everything going off, I don't know what is. But let's continue on. So she tries to help, but they don't want her around. So I've been just waiting around like everyone else. The toddler was reported missing from his family home in the 500 block of Buckhalter Road at 939. What is it about them 9s a.m. by the mother, Leilani Simon, police say. Speaking on Monday, the Chatham County Chief Jeffrey Headley says everybody was being interviewed and that all parties had cooperated with the investigation, which has seen as many as 40 FBI agents are on the ground as well. Everybody is being looked at. Everybody is being interviewed. Everybody that had contact with Quinton in the most recent time of his disappearance is being looked at, is being interviewed, and that's an enormous amount of work because they got to interview all these people and they're going to keep going back to them and seeing if the story stays the same. Okay? The police chief, who said last week that no foul play was suspected, told reporters that the case could become a criminal one, with the police chief confident of a resolution with the FBI assistance. There are no suspects at present, and the case remains a missing person one at the present. However, we don't have anything confirmed, so we can't say anything absolute. But it is fair to say that in our efforts and the cooperation with the FBI and them providing an abundance of resource to us, that we are looking at the criminal investigation aspect of it as well. The search for Quinton enters its 7th day on Tuesday. Today is Wednesday. This is the 8th day. Okay? So that's one little thing of the babysitter who, this is what the babysitter is saying. And that's why the babysitter is like trying to do what she's doing, because not only the babysitter but neighbors have also looked very suspiciously at the family. There have been times there people have called for welfare checks for these kids, allegedly. Neighbors are, who don't want their faces shown, have interviewed saying that they've been worried about the children in that house, and that something seems off with these people in that house. And clearly, you already see a video of the grandmother running up into the babysitter's home, screaming and yelling and losing her gosh damn mind up in the house, right? So now, today is Wednesday, and it marks 1 week since the Georgia toddler Quinton Simon was last seen at his family home. where police investigators and a canine will search in an attempt to gather more evidence of his whereabouts. Simon was last seen in the early morning hours of October 5th inside his family house on Buckhalter Road in Savannah. On Wednesday, the Chatham County Police Department announced investigators would be returning to the residence with a team that includes search canine. Good, you need to do it. We will spend today gathering and analyzing evidence. We expect to schedule a media briefing tomorrow. Police vehicles could be seen driving past the home more than a dozen times Wednesday morning. The residence is a large yellow-colored two-story home with a fenced-in yard, including a pool. This child has been missing since October 5th. The clothes have been described as light blue Sesame Street shirt with black pants. Okay, if you have any information, the number is 912-667-3134. Now, just Tuesday, which is yesterday, police officials revealed that they had seized evidence they believe would help move this case forward. However, a department spokesperson would not provide additional information regarding the evidence that was recovered. Now, Chief Jeffrey M. Hadling said on Monday more than 40 FBI agents were assisting the police. So, let's get into this. Was Quinton Simon left alone with Leilani's boyfriend? Yes. Does Leilani's brother know what happened? No. Is Quinton Simon's body between 7 to 8 miles from the house? Yeah. They will probably, Quinton Simon, is probably somewhere between 7 to 8 miles from that house. So if you do a little map, between 7 to 8 miles from that house, that's where that boy is. The grandmother and mother of Quinton Simon, they came home. They came home to find that that little boy was no more. Leilani's boyfriend has a criminal record. Leilani's boyfriend has anger issues. Thomas and Leilani's boyfriend know where Quinton Simon's body is and buried at. Between the 4th in the AM going the end of the 4th, going into the 5th of October is when poor little Quinton Simon lost his life. He could have been possibly reported unalive he could be possibly reported missing. He could have been possibly reported missing the same day or just a few hours before he could have been, this is rough to read, he was unalive either the same day he was reported missing or maybe hours before. He could have possibly, this is not for the weak, he could have possibly been choked. The grandmother made up the story about the timeline. Leilani's boyfriend's phone could help solve the case. It will be weeks before Quinton Simon's body is found. Some of those involved in the case believed some of those involved in the case, as far as police or either FBI detectives or whoever is involved investigating, they do believe, some of them do believe, that he was unalived. The individuals involved in the disappearance of Quinton Simon, they will turn on each other. The child's mother's boyfriend and Thomas Howell was home. They know what happened. Especially the boyfriend knows what happened with Quinton Simon. Yes, Quinton Simon. That's all. That's all I have to. This child is so beautiful. This child is so beautiful. He was a little wild one, you know. He had a lot of energy in him, you know. But the people he had around him did not deserve him. They did not. I see a lot of anger issues, a lot of resentment, anger, frustration, unable to handle parenting. Like all people involved would rather drink their beer or do whatever they're doing, really. So, Quinton Simon's truth revealed. There was some form of argument. So let's get into this. At just 20-month-old, Quinton Simon hasn't been seen for 5 days. This was old. In those moments, there he goes. Has told you this is a news network, has told you a lot about the search to find him, but to tell you about the environment he was living in, they go back weeks. Police were called on September 7th. Police were called to Quinton's grandparents' home, where Quinton, his mother, her boyfriend, 2 other children, and the grandparents live. There was a fight between Quinton's mom, Leilani Simon, and her mother, Billie Jo Howell. Leilani called the cops on her mom. When officers showed up, she told them that she was on probation and didn't want no trouble, but didn't give the reason why she was on probation. The report said when the police officers talked with Leilani's brother, he told them that Quinton's mom had a history of stealing and used the money to buy drugs. On September 8th, Billie Jo Howell wanted her daughter and her daughter's boyfriend evicted from the house. She filed for eviction, and according to the document, she didn't want any money, just her 22-year-old daughter, her boyfriend Daniel Youngkin, and the 3 children to leave, and quickly. Howell wrote that they damaged her property and no one is living in peace. September 16th, Leilani and Daniel found out about the eviction, but now knows as recently as last Wednesday that they were still living there. And that around October 5th, the morning little Quinton was last seen. And that was when, Diane got the 5:29 a.m. text talking about she's not needed to babysit. Then, just at 9 a.m., another text was received to Diane, that this time from the grandparent, asking if she had seen the toddler. The 911 call to report Quinton missing was placed 42 minutes later. Leilani told police that Quinton's father took the child. The family said the story didn't make sense, and by 2:30 that afternoon, police said the father was not involved. By Wednesday night, the effort to find Quinton involved the Federal Bureau of Investigation, 2 helicopters, a drone, police on horses, tracking dogs, and officers going door to door. Thursday, we watched federal agents search dumpers, ditches, drain pipes, and the woods. Chatham County Police said that they will be recanvassing some areas as they continue to work to find the little boy. Again, if you have any tips about the case, speak directly with a detective. Call 912-667-3134. The number is only for information that might help law enforcement locate Quinton Simon. Investigators used a pump to drain the swimming pool in the backyard of Quinton's grandparents' home. The pool and the home are 2 of the places that the Chatham County investigators and federal agents are searching again. And the grandparents, they are so concerned about Quinton, supposedly, that she actually posted on her Facebook about can somebody let me know if anybody knows anybody that can refill up a pool and redo a pool. So she's more concerned with putting water in the pool than the grandbaby being missing. If that don't tell you something, I don't know what will. But these people don't care. They front, allegedly. So there's some other information and exclusive new details showing that Simon's grandmother, Billy, did in fact have legal custody over Quinton and his older brother. Quinton's mom was also ordered to pay child support for the 2 boys. Court documents show that Leilani Simon had been to court and knew she would be ordered to pay. The judge ruling was signed exactly 1 week before Quinton's disappeared and filed the morning of his disappearance. Is that not suspect or what? This is my baby, not yours. Now this is the exchange between Quinton Simon's grandmother and the babysitter. Okay, I gotta wait for this commercial to clear for a second. Let me see if I can like bring that up so y'all can see this. Stop screen share. Yes, I will. I don't want this to be too long. So,
siblings and grandparents. The house is located on Burkhalter Road in West Chatham County.
Lead investigative reporter Brett Buffington has been breaking new details in the story since Quinton went missing. Brett is joining us live now tonight from Chatham County Police Headquarters with the entire video of the confrontation between Quinton's grandmother and a babysitter, as well as new information in this case.
And Tina, we've learned tonight from that babysitter that Quinton Simon was part of a Department of Family and Children's Services case. That babysitter told me she talked to DCFS, and so did other people in that neighborhood.
This is my baby, not yours!
This video is absolutely jarring.
Hit you think I would do that?
It shows the desperation of the people who love Quinton Simon.
You're awful to say you're gonna put a memorial? My baby's not dead!
Quinton's grandmother in Quinton's babysitter's house.
this shows that this family has anger issues. They pop off easily.
Moments recorded by Dana McCarta's daughter. Dana says Quinton's grandmother barged through her back door, mad over the thought of a memorial for the missing toddler.
My baby's not dead!
I think that she's trying to take the heat off of them.
Diana talking with
she's
us today,
correct.
telling me she's called Georgia's Department
Diane
of Family
is
and Children's
100%
Services
correct.
about Quinton and his siblings before. DFACS told you there was a case.
Yes.
Honestly, you know who should have raised and kept them children and filed for to be a foster care mother? Diane. Diane, I wish I could interview and talk to you. Child, I can see the pain in your eyes. You feel more pain for that child that wasn't even yours, that you didn't even give life to, than the family that are blood relative of that little boy. They tried. They tried. That babysitter and those neighbors, they tried to save those kids. They did everything that they could to save those babies. Now, that other child that's left, the older brother of Quinton Simon, should be removed from the home. They do not need to raise any more children, whether the grandmother, the boyfriend, or the mother, whoever. No children should be left in that home if you want that child to survive unabused.
Absolutely.
Diana isn't the only neighbor here to tell us they were concerned about the children in this home.
I was afraid he was going to get hit.
We tried to get Billy Joe Howell's side of this story. She didn't answer her phone since yesterday, when federal investigators, firefighters, and Chatham police drained Quinton's grandparents' backyard pool. Grandmother Billy Joe Howell's Facebook had a post asking for help getting that pool fixed. It's been deleted.
I should not have been out of town! You did! You shouldn't have!
But the emotions in this neighborhood, they haven't gone anywhere.
Oh, it's gonna be!
We learned from Chatham County Police today that they have evidence in this case. Evidence that they believe will take them to the next step or break in the case. They didn't tell us what that evidence is. We do know that they have cell phone data and that they've collected evidence from Quinton's home, but we don't know what that cell phone data told them or...
Now, like I said, okay, I said that Leilani's boyfriend, Daniel, let me see where I can find that man's name again. I can't find it where it is. I wanted to see if I could find where that boy's name, where that man's name is. Well, Daniel's cell phone is going to be one of the keys. It's going to be one of the keys to helping this case. You hear me? Daniel's phone. If I could find that man's name, but I can't. But any which way, Daniel phone could help solve the case in ways of locating where Quinton Simon's body is, as well as some other information on that phone. It will be weeks for Quinton Simon's body to be found, but it will be found. That child's body will be found. Layla's boyfriend's phone is one of the keys to solving this case. The brother, Layla's brother, Leilani's brother, doesn't know. Don't judge me, y'all. That how I pronounce these people's name is not even important. What is important is the facts. So Leilani's brother doesn't know what happened. He don't know. But the mother ones, the Thomas, the grandmother, the child's mother, the boyfriend, they are very much so aware. All of those folks, they are all in cahoots, and then they know. Okay? When they start digging into the criminal history, they gonna see a lot of details about this boy, this man Daniel. So, yes, that's all I got to say on this. And we will see in the coming weeks, what it's gonna be. Is the information that's in this video gonna be correct, or is this information gonna be half and half? Or we gonna see. I'm gonna leave it up here. We gonna see, y'all. But y'all give y'all thoughts and your opinion, okay? All right, now I got to go.